So you guys know I have a locals community. It's there it is. kb.locals.com right there. I love my locals community. I love the locals team. I really hope that what I see happening right in front of me is not going to impact my locals community at all because I really like my locals community and I really like the locals platform and I think I have the best community on the platform. I may not have the biggest community on the platform, but I do think I have the best community on the platform, and I would like to keep it that way. But Rumble, you're making it really hard for me to believe you're not going to screw up locals. This has nothing to do with the locals team. Locals, Rumble keeps telling us, will continue to operate completely independently and to be able to make all their own decisions, and they're just taking advantage of the Rumble cash and the Rumble technology and all this stuff. And I hope that's true. But Rumble, you make it impossible for me to take you seriously. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Now, as an introduction to this video, it is important to remember that in real life, I'm an organizational psychologist. I have had my own organizational psychology practice since 2012, almost 10 full years. I have worked with companies all over the United States of all different shapes and sizes. I've worked with tech companies, I've worked with startups, just like Rumble. And my job when I'm working with companies as an organizational psychologist is that my job is to help them function better. Because if they're bringing in someone like me, something's usually going wrong. Something is not up to snuff. And I help them figure out what's not up to snuff. I coach employees, I do trainings, all that stuff to help them run better. Now, one of the biggest things I look for when I'm evaluating whether or not an organization can improve, can be successful, is where that organization is focusing their energy and attention. Are they focusing on the things that matter, the things that are going to drive productivity, the things that are going to drive them into picking up more market share, getting more users, getting more customers, making more money? Are they focusing on the right things? Or are they focusing on nonsense? And one of the most important indicators I have about whether or not a company is going to be successful, is going to be able to create a productive work environment for their employees, is going to be able to increase their bottom line, is are they focusing on things that matter or are they focusing on nonsense? And all the evidence I have right now about Rumble is that Rumble is focused on nonsense. Now I hear all the time from people, Carlin, get on Rumble, get on Rumble, get on Rumble. Do you know I've been on Rumble for over a year? Do you know I do post videos on Rumble? I started posting more consistently on Rumble as soon as Locals announced they were going to have a partnership, and then I kept going when Locals announced that they were being bought by Rumble because I was like, maybe this will work out. But Rumble by far is the worst performing platform that I am on. By far. Because I'm not one of Rumble's blessed creators, right? I'm not one of Rumble's blessed creators. They're blessed conservative content creators. And to be quite frank, like I even talk to some of their blessed conservative creators sometimes off the record, and even their blessed conservative creators don't think they're that great. But Rumble sucks. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. Rumble's interface sucks. They suck as a website. I get no views on my videos. I get no monetization on my videos. I think I've made a grand total of 32 cents in the entire time I've been on Rumble because they normally don't even monetize my videos until like a week after I post them. I've actually made more money. Fun fact, I have made more money just by virtue of using the Brave browser and the crypto that I generate just by using the Brave browser. I've made more money just using a browser than I have made in the entire history that I've been on Rumble. Because Rumble sucks. It is not good for users. It is not good for creators. Again, I'm not one of their blessed creators. I can't speak to how different that experience might be for a Dan Bongino or a Viva Fry. We'll talk about Viva in a second because I disagree with him on this issue. I can't speak to how the experience is for them. I have no idea. All I can speak to is what I experienced myself. And what I've experienced myself is I looked at when I heard that Rumble acquired Locals, I kind of looked at it. I was like, Rumble isn't getting their own stuff together. Why would I have any faith that they're not going to screw this up? Because I believe that if Rumble was a functioning company, Their homepage would look way different. I would actually understand their business model as a user. The experience as a user wouldn't suck. They would have taken care of all of this. They would have made a beautiful website that was crystal clear, that was supportive of all its creators, not just their blessed few. I would understand what their business model is. I wouldn't have to pay to live stream on them, which is why I don't live stream on Rumble, because I ain't paying them nothing. I don't make any money on them. Like, why? But today's actions have kind of pushed me over the edge in terms of Rumble not being focused on the correct things. Rumble is threatening to sue Odyssey. Now, full disclosure, I do consider Jeremy Kaufman, who is the founder of Librarian Odyssey, he's a friend of mine. We both live in New Hampshire. We're both involved in libertarian politics in New Hampshire. We're going to be doing some stuff together that's not going to be announced yet, but is in the works. Got something fun coming up involving Jeremy. And I happen to believe that Odyssey is a far and away superior platform to Rumble. This honestly, I thought this before I ever became friends with Jeremy. I thought this before. Odyssey's website is slick. It just works. It has all the functionality. I get way more views on my content on Odyssey than I do on Rumble by like a significant degree, not just a little bit, like a significant degree. And now I hear that Rumble, who has a lot that they need to work on internally, is focused on suing Odyssey over a tweet. Now, I already talked about how the fact that I know a dysfunctional company from a functioning company based on whether or not they are focusing their attention on nonsense. I would say threatening to sue a competitor over a tweet is the very definition of focusing on nonsense. So let's see what's happening. Odyssey, by the way, is based. Odyssey, if you go to Odyssey's homepage right now, at the very top of the page, they have a link saying, Rumble's threatening to sue us. Ooh. And they have a link to this letter. This is addressed to the CEO of Odyssey from the general counsel of Rumble. I request you immediately retract your company's tweet of December 8th, 2021 at 1:37 p.m., which falsely claims that Rumble has misled its investors with respect to its user engagement statistics, and issue a correction. A copy of this tweet is attached for reference. This is the tweet. Odyssey tweeted out a graphic which says that the average visit duration on Odyssey is significantly longer than on Rumble. As a user of both those websites, I would believe that. It says the pages visited per visit is higher than Rumble. The bounce rate is lower than Rumble. Again, as a user of both these websites, this doesn't surprise me one little bit. And any creator that is not one of Rumble's blessed creators, that is on both Rumble and Odyssey, please leave a comment if you are a creator on both Rumble and Odyssey, and let me know if these stats don't surprise you. Because again, just as a normal kind of creator with like maybe an okay, like, respectable platform, my engagement and views and all that stuff on Odyssey is significantly higher than it is on Rumble. So Odyssey tweeted this out, and they said, we would never use bots like Rumble to generate fake traffic in order to swindle investors. Average user usage time doesn't correlate to traffic. Now, they could have actually been a little more careful with the wording. What I actually originally thought they tweeted was, we would never use bots to generate fake traffic in order to swindle investors. I don't probably think they should have tweeted that. But you know what? I don't care. You know why I don't care? Odyssey has like 34,000 users that are following them on Twitter, right? Probably not that many people even saw this tweet. Like, relatively speaking. I mean, a couple thousand in the grand scheme of things is like actually not that much, right? Rumble has now Barbara fucking Streisand this tweet. Rumble, in threatening to sue Odyssey over this tweet, which is nonsense that should not even matter to begin with, has now made sure that more people are going to see this tweet. They made sure that this video that you are watching right now would get made by people like me who will always support Odyssey over Rumble. In the state that Rumble is in right now, Rumble has given me no reason to support them at all. Odyssey has. Odyssey has. Let's keep reading this letter. Rumble's investor presentation, which is available online and attached for reference as Exhibit B, includes accurate user engagement statistics based on Google Analytics and Rumble's own measurements. Oh, Rumble, we're supposed to automatically believe your own measurements? You wouldn't have any incentive to lie at all, I'm sure. And I'm not saying they are because I don't want to get sued by Rumble. Let's see how much Rumble actually cares about free speech. I'm not saying Rumble's lying. I'm just saying that companies never have any incentive to lie to investors, do they? These statistics measure engagement only on Rumble's website and apps and not other websites. Your company's tweet appears to rely on statistics from SimilarWeb, a third-party monitoring site. So now Rumble is actually acknowledging that those statistics came from somewhere. Isn't that interesting? We believe SimilarWeb includes videos viewed through Rumble's licensed player as part of its statistics. Because Rumble's licensed player is embedded on other websites, any statistics that include these views will show a short average visit and a small number of pages viewed across Rumble's website. They do not reflect user engagement on Rumble's website or apps. So Rumble, what you're telling me is part of your business model, as I understand it, Rumble, based on the very confusing business model that you have on your website, but I have sussed out this much. Part of your business model includes a player that people can put on other websites or licensing content out to other websites. Am I wrong about that? If I'm not wrong about that, and that is in fact part of your business model, as I seem to be reminded every single time I upload a video to your site, then why exactly would it be a problem that those statistics are incorporated into the larger statistics? I don't know. We value openness and transparency. Huh. That has not been my experience. So we have not used and will not use SimilarWeb statistics as part of our communications to investors. For the same reason, we do not use bots to inflate traffic on Rumble. Any claims to the contrary, including your tweet, risk misleading potential investors in Rumble, as well as users, partners, and others in the marketplace. Please confirm no later than 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, December 10th, 2021, that you will retract your misleading tweet and issue a correction. If Rumble does not receive a satisfactory response by that time, the company will take aggressive action to safeguard its interests. Rumble is threatening to sue Odyssey over a tweet. Over a tweet. And you're telling me that Rumble is focused on things that matter? If this tweet is so wrong, then Rumble shouldn't even have effing acknowledged it. They should have let their success speak for themselves. This is a competitor tweeting out information from a website that you've identified as a place that people might gather information from. If this tweet is so wrong, then you should be able to prove that through sheer virtue of the effectiveness of your website. As a user on your website that is not part of your blessed creator crew, I have yet to experience anything separate from what this tweet says. And I wouldn't have even said anything. You know what? I was kind of doing a wait and see thing with where was Rumble going to go with all of this, even though literally every single step I have watched them take from an organizational psychology perspective has made me nervous for months. And then they bought Locals, and I was like, ugh, because I love Locals. And I love the Locals team, and I think they've done such good work, and I didn't want to see it screwed up. But when we have a company that is focused on suing their competitors over tweets. If the tweet is so inaccurate, then you should be able to prove that through the virtue of how successful your website becomes. And why are you even spending time monitoring the tweets of your competitors? Listen, man, do you know how many meetings they probably had to produce this letter? Not only did they monitor the tweet, but they researched where the numbers came from and then crafted an entire response to it. This response to a tweet probably cost Rumble hundreds of hours of employee time and thousands of dollars to produce that letter, to research. Oh my God, Odyssey said something. Oh my God, where did they get those numbers? Ah! I'm just speculating, but I know how this stuff works out in organizations. A meeting was called, people were pulled in, they had to figure out where Odyssey got these numbers, they had to craft the response. And if you think the CEO of Rumble, Chris, didn't approve this letter, I'm sorry. I would be shocked. And if the CEO of Rumble didn't approve, okay, one of two scenarios is true. Either the CEO of Rumble approved this letter or he did not approve this letter. If he did not approve this letter, then what the F? If he did approve this letter, then what the F? You have literally just shown all of us that you are more interested in a tweet than making changes to your platform that could benefit people like me who have content on your platform that on a good day gets like 19 views. I don't even care about the accuracy of this tweet. I don't even care about the free speech issues involved in this tweet, although I will say it doesn't sit well with me to see a company claiming to care about free speech that are suing other companies over tweets. Doesn't sit well with me. This is an example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. And Viva Fry retweeted me, and I have full respect for Viva. I think he's great. He tweeted me and said, free speech doesn't include the right to defame or make public accusations of fraud and criminal conduct. Viva, as a reminder, is one of Rumble's blessed creators. Odyssey is accusing Rumble of potential SEC violations. I don't know the details, Carlin. Tag me specifically because he's running cover for them. But that tweet, if incorrect, could easily exceed the limits of free speech. I do not care. You want to know why? This is one of those instances of just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you actually care about free speech, then a tweet from your competitor that probably didn't even get that many views to begin with should be the very last thing you should be worried about. Be like, okay, fine. In the marketplace of ideas, we're going to disprove them. We're going to focus our energy on kicking Odyssey's ass. That's what Rumble should have done. We're going to focus all of our energy and attention on improving our website so it doesn't suck so badly so that we can kick Odyssey's ass. That's what they should have done. That would show that they are focusing their energy and attention in the best possible way, not the worst possible way. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I don't even care if this is true. I do not even care if technically this doesn't fall under free speech. I don't care. You know what? You know why? This is like Twitter saying, well, just because the First Amendment is a thing, that doesn't mean we need to follow it. And Twitter is correct about that. Twitter does not need to follow the First Amendment, not in any way. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. It is exactly the same thing with this. Now I'm going to have conservatives like, oh, how dare you attack Rumble? Dude, it was my impression that Rumble wanted to expand beyond its conservative base, even though all their blessed creators are conservative creators. It was my impression that Rumble wanted to expand beyond their conservative base. Do you have any idea how much you just pissed off the libertarians? Jeremy Kauffman and Library and Odyssey are very well known and very well respected in libertarian circles. Do you know how much you just pissed off the libertarians by threatening to sue their favorite goddamn company? Do you have any idea? This is what happens when you take your eyes off the prize and you focus on nonsense and things that do not matter. So I retweeted Viva and I said, my point is that Rumble has far bigger fish to fry than a tweet from a competitor. And if this is where they're focusing their energy and attention, I have absolutely no faith that they will ever develop their platform to be functional and competitive. And the reason that I don't have any faith in it is Rumble, through their actions, have shown me that they are not focusing their corporate resources on things that matter. This is a simple function of choice. No one forced Rumble to freak out over a goddamn tweet. This is why I have a problem with the fact that people take Twitter seriously at all. I will never take Twitter seriously at all, and no one else should either. Twitter is a cesspit hellscape of a website in which no one should take it seriously. But the fact that Rumble, obviously, by virtue of the fact that this letter was produced, marshaled resources. Dude, I can't even get tech support on the phone for Rumble. Not even on the phone. I can't. Every time I go to Rumble for a tech support question, I feel like I'm being outsourced to India and they never answer it. Rumble, go fix your tech support. Rumble, start monetizing my videos before a week after they've been posted on your site. Rumble, why don't you focus on getting more traffic to your site so I get more than 19 views per video? Instead, this is what you're marshaling your resources for? I don't think you're making good decisions, man. This is the very definition of focusing on nonsense when you could be focusing on things that actually matter. I kept going. I support Odyssey 100%. And if this is the mountain that Rumble wants to climb, they have proven they will always be distracted by nonsense. Suing a competitor over fucking tweets? Seriously. The legality of it is not my concern. I've worked with organizations that focus on nonsense like this. They are fundamentally dysfunctional and they don't improve until they stop focusing on nonsense. Rumble still has growth to do. So if you're pissed off that I'm calling out your favorite website for focusing on nonsense, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. I have never had a good experience on Rumble. I've been in wait and see mode for a while. I've been in wait and see mode for a while over this crap. I've been like, maybe Rumble will improve. Maybe they'll get better. But if this is what they're focused on, please don't screw up locals, Rumble. Please don't screw up locals. This is the one thing that I'm asking. This is the one thing. I have been, dude, ever since Rumble acquired locals, I have been talking down members of my community who are like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And I've been like, listen, wait and see. We don't know. The locals team is awesome. Rumble is telling me that locals is going to operate independently. And again, I don't want to throw any shade at the locals team. I have just, this pisses me off so much because I love locals and I love the locals team so much. But at some point, I'm going to say something because again, Jeremy Kaufman is a friend of mine, dude. I am not. I will not. When I cannot even get Rumble to answer the most simplest, basic of questions, and they're spending time suing people over tweets, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut anymore. This is ridiculous. Grow the F up. Focus on your own company. If you're so much better than Odyssey, then you should be marshaling all your resources, not to sending stupid letters like this, but you should be marshaling all your resources to kicking Odyssey's ass. That's all I have to say. That's it. If you want to join my locals community, well, it's still around and still great. kb.locals.com. It really is awesome. It is awesome. Rumble hasn't screwed it up yet. I really, fingers crossed. I really hope they won't. I don't want to have to leave locals. But I will if I have to, but I'm not there yet. I still want to wait and see. And that's really it, man. That's it. So if you want to know when companies are fundamentally dysfunctional, it's when they sue their competitors based on a goddamn tweet. That's when. This is why I don't do consulting right now. This is literally the stuff I had to work on every day. Crap like this. Explaining to CEOs why you don't publicly threaten to sue competitors over tweets. Actually, they didn't. To be fair, Rumble didn't make this public. Odyssey made this public. But if Rumble had known who runs Odyssey and how Odyssey works, they would have known exactly what's going to happen. Jeremy Kaufman doesn't back down for shit. Are you kidding me? Like, you should have known this was going to happen. And now you pissed off all the damn libertarians. And you pissed off people like me, who Odyssey has been really good to me. Rumble has outsourced all my tech support questions to India or someone who doesn't speak English. Maybe they're in Minnesota. I don't effing know. Never helps me. 32 cents in the entire time I've been on it because I'm not part of their blessed conservative creator crew. But I'm sure they will have all their creators running interference for this. They're the blessed ones, not the ones like me that don't care about me, which is fine. Not everyone has to. But I'm still going to give my opinion on it. That's the opinion I have. I've been ranting for 25 minutes. That's all I've got, guys. We'll see you soon.